Welcome back to Crypto Talk. Wanted to give you guys a quick rundown on where Bitcoin is, the state of the state, macro down to the near term in terms of the micro moves and changes. I'll get into the trading setups kind of here at the end, but I want to give you what's big, what's happening. So I've got here drawn out is the RSI. I've put my market Cipher B to the bottom. Just makes it's really super simple. No, I can't take credit for finding this, but this has been pointed out by other people. But every time we do have an RSI breakout in the weekly, we have a big move. So on average, we have about 300% from top to bottom. If you have a break the move in half, it's about 170%. So we just had a breakout on the weekly. I've marked each vertical line here showing that in the past, and then the subsequent. And I took the COVID one and brought the back up to the median baseline because that just a black swan event isn't really going to help out the averages, and it's not really realistic. It's something that doesn't happen very often, so you can't take that into a calculation in terms of the overall average. But, you know, the average is about 300%. So let's just go the diminishing return event, and let's do the 170 was last time, so let's say it's only 150 this time, or 130. So let's just go off of that. So from today's price, actually from the bottom, so let's zoom in a little bit. From the bottom of when that breakout happened this past week, it go up 100 and what's 130%? 31,000s, 133, and then the 150 range. Again, due to diminishing returns, just be really kind of cautious and optimistic. 140. So all within the ranges. If you do fib extensions, 101 to the 155 is kind of where my fib extensions came into play. Again, this is showing about a $142,000 Bitcoin. You got some super bullish people like Kathy Wood that are just going off of more or less fundamentals, not so much charts, and they're going off of like 255, which is, in my opinion, a little crazy. Sure, we'll see $1 million Bitcoin, but it may take another decade to get there, in my opinion. So, but I'm on the more conservative side of things. So I'd like to just be blown away versus with an expectation where I have a lower set expectation and it runs higher than I expect. So that is what I'm looking at there. Running on down to the hourly. So what do I have here? I have my shorts zones here. So we've tapped 2 out of the 3. Let me zoom in for you. So we were expecting, again, if we could reclaim 65,000, we're running pretty hard at 67 to potentially new all-time high. But we got to get back above 64 and hold it. Right now, I've drawn a big fat line down here at 61,300 as support. It's a big hourly support. Even my indicator here points it out. 61,332.9 if you want to be really specific on MEXC. But anyways, and if I drew a fib, this up here is probably the 886 fib level as well if you did a fib retracement. So I'm looking for a pullback and consolidation. Keep in mind we are in an uptrend. So yes, we will have up and downs, but I'm still expecting this to be a stair step up over time, especially now with the Fed rate cut and now that we have a bullish breakout on the weekly RSI. So let's zoom in a little bit more here for you. We're up above all of the EMAs on the hourly, which is bullish. You do have a double top. So when you have this booby pattern, it's a bearish divergence. So I am expecting to come down. The VO is coming down. The money flow is coming down. I'm looking for whales to manipulate this candle one more time. So this one here is zoomed into the 1 minute. I'm looking for up this box. So probably the 886 to the 786. Exclude that wick. Let's do that. Right in the middle of that box. So I'm looking for a rejection there. You got to confirm rejection anywhere from the 618 up to the 886. I'm looking to put in a short. Also, guys, don't be degens. This kind of price action, a lot of people lost a lot of money yesterday. The amount of liquidations I saw just binging and the charts and data that I watched was crazy. So even I turned it down. After I already had a 100x play that played out nearly 200%, I turned it down to 18x. So high volatility, you still think the trend is going up based on what you see in your other indications and your knowledge. Again, only trade these kind of scenarios if you know what you're doing. I can scalp for literally a 2 to 5% return and made really good money. Do a larger order position. You don't even need a stop loss at that point in time because your liquidation price is several $1,000s below because it's low leverage. And just set some expectations. The price goes below a certain point and you're not happy with it, just close the trade. And because of that, you don't have much in terms of a loss based on fees and actual trading position because it was a very low leverage play. But I made good money doing 18x yesterday. So you don't have to be a complete degen with 200, 100x. They have their place. I use that quite a bit. 100x is kind of like my preferred to go to, but that's when I'm really positive on where the direction of the move is going. And the volatility isn't literally chopping everybody to bits. So after the Fed announcement, you literally had a $15,000 to $2,000 candle. You don't want to mess with that. People were literally every third of a second, the price was moving 0.6 to 1%, and it was liquidating people left and right. So that was no fun. So if you're using 50x or above, you're likely getting liquidated on half of those candles, especially 100x or 200x. Those guys are just getting chopped to bits. So don't mess with that. Turn down the leverage. And then if you're not really sure and you're brand new to trading, don't trade leverage at all. Go trade spot. I learned a lot trading spot. Spot, there's no liquidation price. You learn patience. You learn entry levels. You set limit orders for both buys and sells. It makes trading less stressful. And if you become very busy, high leverage trading is not the place for you. I mean, unless you're going to add a lot of margin to a position. And then you're risking a lot. So you need to kind of base things off of your experience level. So also want to point out too on the S&P 500, the ES here. So you have a large gap. So it's likely going to get filled the next few days because we had a gap up after the FOMC announcement. So we can turn down this. This is too big. So roughly starting at 56.76, and the gap will get filled at roughly 56.39.5. So that is on the stock market a pretty big dump, I think. To fill that, you're looking at a 2.25% dump. That'll make Wall Street go wild and crazy. But what that'll do is also back test these range highs as support. So if the S&P, which I expect it'll continue to go higher, it's going to come back down. It's just going to jump around here, grind, right? And then start stair-stepping its way back up. So keep in mind, you just had the biggest benchmark sign in the world. You had the end of quantitative tightening, QT, and then you have now the start of QE, quantitative easing. So global markets are now going to have more money flooding into them, period. The other Feds around the world have been cutting rates and allowing money to flow freely. The U.S. is the last one to do it. So this just sparks off, in my opinion, a bull run for the stock market and also cryptocurrency. So enjoy the ride. My other one I've been watching is Band Protocol. Nice bounce. Was getting 103 up to 120. So again, you can trade stuff like this without leverage and you're making good money. You made a 15% return in half a day. Again, you don't need. If you have a large position, let's say you're trading $100,000 or $20,000 or heck, even $100. I mean, it all adds up. You want to be net positive at the end. So regardless, you want to reduce your losses and you want to continue building your portfolio. So leverage is there to help you and not hurt you, but if you're being a degen, it's going to hurt you. Solana, this is bullish. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you get a pattern that looks like this. This is just an accumulation before it blows. So let me just pull up. Wow. Came up a lot. So in all reality, this is a massive bull flag with a pole that starts down here. And let's just say, I'm not going to draw the top line here, but let's just say the breakout target is somewhere in this neck of the woods, above the previous month high. It's a $2,000 price target. Unrealistic in my opinion, but that's the measured move. Sometimes these things overperform, underperform. If we did the weekly here, you're going to have other stuff to look at. Again, this is MEXC, but anyways, this is fine for me because I'll use 2021. The fib extensions is kind of where my conservative targets are. Anyways, that would be a blow off. That would be, oh my goodness, that'd be like at 886. Realistically speaking, the 2618 is kind of what I'm looking at. So that's a $678 Solana from a current price of 141. If you get absolutely hammered and scammed, you probably get a $422 Solana. But realistically, somewhere between the 2618 and the 4618 is likely. So I think a lot of people are calling for an $850 Solana, which is just below the 3618. And then I think the top case is kind of the 5618, about $1,500. So to give you an idea what that is, from today to the all-time high, it's 87%, to the 1618, 192%, to the 2618, 376%, to the 3618, 675%, to the 5618, you're looking at about 1,000%. Whereas if you go back to Band here, my buddy, got my moon bag for Band, if you haven't figured that out by now. This thing is crazy, hold on. Turn those off. Good. Look at this. Just to get back to the all-time high for an Oracle, you're looking at 1,800%. To the 2618, you're looking at 4,800%. And this could realistically be an $80 coin at some point in time. Currently, it's $1.19. Has a massive use case. Again, in my opinion, it's the second to Chainlink. You need API data to make smart contracts actually smart. Otherwise, they're dumb contracts. They don't talk to the real world. You've had bullish divergences here on the bottom for a long time, but it hasn't been able to move because Bitcoin hasn't moved. So once this thing starts to move, I think people will pick up on it. I'm very bullish on it. Again, they have all the contracts with a lot of the professional sporting leagues, NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball, European soccer. Literally all European soccer professional leagues are pretty much have contracted Band protocol to take care of their stuff. So heading back over to the local trades. How are we looking? Yeah, so we're starting coming our way back up here. I think I'd like to see us tag. I don't think it's possible. We had one marked up here from another smart guy in the Jason Casper Discord up here at 63,775. That would be awesome, but that would be a complete blow off top, and that would probably look something like boom and then boom. But what I am looking for, to be realistic, is anything in this neck of the woods. So got to bounce, either get a rejection here, and then confirm that rejection with a lower high, and then, yeah, look to get in there potentially. So I may set some low leverage longs and see how that goes. So that's about it, guys. Nothing to say is financial advice. Best of luck. You want to find me, hit a Crypto Blackwall on Twitter, the Blackguard Discord. You need some one-on-one help, hit up my Patreon account. And then lastly, Blackguard will be at the European Blockchain Convention/conference next week in Barcelona, Spain. So if anybody is in the area, hit me up. I'd be glad to buy you a beer. Take care. Bye.